Hello, beautiful. It's Joe again, and today we are here to talk about alternate day fasting, week 26. Now, there are a few things of note this week, and for fasting, and about my food, and then a couple of other notations just in general. Let's start with the fact that I attempted to do my vlog on this camera instead of a cell phone camera, and it did not work out well. The sound is all tinny. It does not have an external mic port, so I can use a different mic. It runs through batteries like crazy. So, yeah. Apparently, I didn't even get one whole chunk of video because it doesn't have a swivel LCD. It was good in that I was able to look more directly at the lens. That was a plus. But apparently at one point I had pushed record and didn't press record. So there's a whole chunk of video where I was doing the experiment and I didn't even get any video. And then my battery went dead and I switched the batteries out and picked up where I left off, only to not have the first half at all. So this was a fail. This takes beautiful pictures, but for the video quality and the vlogging function, no. You do not want to use a Nikon Coolpix. I now do know, and this isn't something I spent a lot of money on. This was actually my mom's camera, and it's a beautiful camera for taking photos, but it's just not for vlogging. So I'm not out any money for that experiment, so that's a good thing. I wish it had worked. I think it'd be pretty cool, you know, up my vlogging game a little bit, but it is what it is. I will include some sections of this video where you'll actually see me from that camera, and you'll be able to hear the sound difference. You'll know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to waste the videoing, and then you can see how the experiment went. I have been doing really well with my alternate day fasting. I did have one day where I chose to eat late in the day when it would have been a fasting day, and I didn't have any problem not eating that day. The reason I chose to eat is because I was going to be working at that little store I work at some days, and I wanted that to be a fasting day. I am exposed to a lot of junk food there, and I find it best to just not deal with food on days when I'm there all day. So no food when I'm in the little store, and that works better. So what I wound up doing is about 4:30 in the afternoon, I went and threw something together real fast, drank my bone broth, cooked up some eggs, and then cooked up a good substantial meal. So I did still have a solid calorie intake. I believe I got up to around 1,800 calories in like 2 hours. When you're eating lots of fatty foods and paleo style, carnivore heavy, you can get up those there easier than you'd think. But you're also a lot more satisfied on those calories. High protein is very good satisfaction. So I did have a blip on my days, but it was a very deliberate choice. I just didn't want that to be a food day the next day. Then I went just right back into my regular pattern because I do these days strict alternate day without any of the extended fasts. I basically one Sunday will be a food day, the next Sunday will be a fast day, the next Sunday will be a food day, as long as my pattern stays how it is, because it is alternate day and it's a 7-day week. I have also been struggling lately, food situations aside, with dry eye and really blurry vision. And it's been going on for a while, but it's like my ability to focus, my eyes was just going completely away. And I finally realized it is an actual dry eye problem. And I got some re-wetting drops, some lubricating drops. There's not a whole lot of choices of which ones I can get around here. I basically chose the ones that were not for contacts and that were not for allergies, but for lubrication. And I've been putting them in a couple of times a day, starting off in the morning for the last couple of days. And it has dramatically helped my focusing problem, because I'm sitting there trying to read a book or something and my eyes won't focus, and it's been making me mental. And I was starting to think I needed to go to the optometrist or the ophthalmologist and see if I'm developing more age problems. And I didn't know what was going on. I've never had such a problem until the last few months. And I just got the new glasses in February. So, I mean, I'm comfortable with the prescription I had. And I can see out of these glasses clearly, except when suddenly my eyes just don't want to focus. And apparently it's a dry eye problem. This is new. That's all I got. It's new. Now, I did also, in addition to the re-wetting lubricating drops for my eyes, trying the camera out, which I've tried a couple of different test runs on the camera. One day I took some videos and I wasn't looking like me. I was just doing a trial run. Don't know if I'll include any clips from that in here or not. But I also did finally get to try Zoodles, and yum. I finally got some zucchini in the house, and I'm going to try Zoodles. So I got a little pasta sauce, I got spiralized zucchini, and I'm going to add some meat. I'm just warming it up a little bit of bacon grease, a little salt and pepper. Everything I've heard says don't cook it much, let the sauce be most of the cooking, because otherwise it'll get mushy. Okay, Zoodles for the win. I'm digging the Zoodles. The zucchini is half raw, and that works for it. It's got a little bit of an al dente crunch, but it's perfect. I'm digging this. This is working. So zucchini noodles with a spiralizer is a win. I quite liked them. The only thing that was inconvenient was spiralizing the zucchini, particularly because I did buy a very inexpensive spiralizer that is essentially like a giant pencil sharpener for that a zucchini can stick in, which is amusing. But I definitely did not want to spend a whole lot of money on an expensive one until I knew whether I was going to even care for a spiralized veggie. Are there any other veggies y'all recommend me spiralizing to make noodles out of, and making with spaghetti sauce specifically? I very much liked those. I did get recommendations from people and online that said, hey, don't overcook them. They'll go all soggy. So I actually ate them somewhat al dente, and I definitely liked it that way. They were a little crispy and crunchy, but not crunchy like that spaghetti squash was. But I've had them twice now because I wound up with a couple of zucchinis, so I didn't want them to go off on me. So I wound up having them and finishing off that jar of sauce, and I very, very much liked them. So for me, the spaghetti squash will not be a frequent thing. The miracle noodles, palatable, and cooking them up right, I was able to get the slime factor down some, but still not my favorite texture in the world. The Hearts of Palm linguine was very good, totally works, but zucchini is number one. The zucchini noodle Zoodles are number one. I highly recommend them. Yay. And zucchinis don't have that strong of a flavor, so it in no way fought the flavor of the sauce. So that was a win, win. But yeah, if there's any other things like zucchini that y'all recommend I try to spiralize to a spaghetti, please let me know. I'm curious to try new things. I have also been planning to try and make some paleo-friendly cookies. So I got some almond butter. I believe I've mentioned that before. It was pretty plain. I am finding that if I put a little bit of raw honey in it to sweeten it, I like it a lot more. And a little bit of raw honey in moderation is completely acceptable for the paleo. So I'm intending to try to make a paleo-friendly cookie with almond butter and or almond flour, which is very pricey, but I could get it. I've got some coconut sugar. I'm allowed to have things like raw honey. If I can find a good clean one and it's real and not imitation, I can have a little bit of vanilla. Egg in there is fine. So there are a few recipes that I've been able to find that have a potential for some dessert. Another thing I might be able to try is like a paleo brownie. I do need to get a few more ingredients to try a very basic paleo brownie, but I do have things like some chocolate chips on the way that are a dark chocolate, more pure chocolate chip that is paleo allowable. It's a lot cleaner. It's not full of dairy. Those are a lot of the keys. Do I want a lot of the cane sugar in there? No, but there are limits on some of the things I can get without that. Um, I have enjoyed the cleaner fruit, by the way, including raisins. I found some organic raisins that did not have added sugars or anything like that, and it was so good. You know how it is. You bring something home you haven't brought home in a long time, and you forgot just how much you like it. And I love me some raisins, apparently. So I'm going to be trying some paleo brownies soon as I get some more ingredients. I may even get a chance to try to make those cookies this week. I think I've got just about everything I need. I think I have to get some coconut oil, although apparently it is possible that I could use lard for that as a substitute for the coconut oil in place of butter or anything like that. And an organic clean butter wouldn't be the end of the world. I do still have some around the house. It is not something I want to make a habit of using, though, because for carnivore, it's a little okay. For paleo, it's really not. I'm just cutting back every dairy I can get anywhere near. I was also looking at possibly getting some almond milk or some cashew milk. I'm hearing good things about cashew milk being a lot more texture and taste wise acceptable and an easier transition from cow milk. Don't know what I would use it in much because most of the things I use milk for are cereal or cooking pastas that calls for a little bit of cream of some sort. So I haven't committed to buying the cashew milk just yet because I have to go out of my way to get it. So, but that is an option that I am considering. So I have weighed in every few days lately, and as of yesterday morning, I am at 166 pounds, which is 49 pounds lost since I began alternate day fasting 26 weeks ago. So by the time I do my official weigh-in, if things continue as they are currently going, I will be over 50 pounds lost. And I will be curious to see if my body measurements are changing because I have lost just in the last few weeks since the plateau broke a good 7+ pounds, I think it was. So I'm pretty pleased with that. We're back heading in the right direction. I'm interested to see if things will go right when it comes to my measurements. My tummy is still bigger than I like, though. It's smaller, but then I see it in one picture and it looks too big. When I look at my video for the try-on haul last week, I mean, I'm both smaller than I was and bigger than I like. My tummy still feels just as big as ever to me, even though I know it's not. So that is just a process that I am going to have to continue to deal with. I'm still doing my workouts. I am still trying to get my yoga in, although it's still not as regularly as I prefer. But I just have to know that it's a process. It is a marathon, not a sprint. And there's probably going to be skin laxity. We all know the under of my arm is not great. My inner thighs is something I never show you, and you may never see that. First off, I barely see that. I don't wear that kind of clothes, and I don't know that I ever would. It's not my style. Little shorty shorts and things. I've never been comfortable in shorts to speak of. You know, the way they ride up when you're walking, and my thighs touch, and so things ride. But that's not going to be an issue. My tummy and midriff area don't have terrible laxity yet. We will see what happens as I continue to lose weight. I am still currently shooting for that 150-pound mark. I definitely am not unhappy with anything that I have lost around here, but on the other hand, I need my bottom half to lose more too, not just my top half. One, because I am bottom heavy. I carry a lot more through my belly, my hip, and my thighs. And also because if I lose too much around my chest and my neck, I will look like one of those pencil neck bobbleheads. And I do not want to look like a pencil necked bobblehead. I don't want to lose so much weight that my body looks odd and that my head looks too big for my body. And that is a concern that I am aware of, and it is why I am so uncertain about a pound goal. So many people are like, oh, those charts say I should be 105 to 120 pounds, so that's what I'm shooting for. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but I don't want to look weird at 105 to 120 pounds. I may get to 140 or 130 and just hit my cherry sweet spot. And I care more about my health and my own self image than I do any random number on a chart. I am going to let you go again. I just really wanted to say you have a beautiful week, a beautiful day. And please like, subscribe, comment. It makes me so happy when people comment on the videos. Makes me happy that I know people are getting some value out of it. It keeps me motivated. And I will catch you on the flip side.